Hey guys, Dragon47 here, and today I'm coming at you with my Shaddoll Dino deck profile. I'm going to give you this profile. I don't know if you guys actually asked for it or not, but I figure I'd just give it to you anyway. I think the deck is really consistent. It's very strong for this meta, and I honestly really like the Shaddoll monsters. I'm thinking about building a Shaddoll deck in the future. Also, I am thinking of a combo video for this. If you hit 5 likes, I will give you guys a combo video. Or if one of you guys just ask for it out loud in general, I'll probably just give it to you anyway. So, without further ado, let's dive straight into the deck profile. I run 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Running any more than 2, sometimes Brixia. I have been thinking about putting in a third one. Haven't decided yet, but, you know, he's a big, beefy monster. He's the boss monster of the deck. He basically runs over everything you could possibly need. Sometimes I like to run over this guy, Dogoron, the Mad Flame Kaiju. I run 1 copy of him because he can take out things like Bagusta, and he can also take care of things that lock down myself, like, I don't know, Subterra Guru, other cards that just lock you down to using a certain thing. He helps basically remove, and he's also fun to run over with UCT. I run 1 copy of Overtext because, well, Overtext can negate a spell or trap by destroying a dino either on the field or in your hand. I'm pretty sure. And he is your pill searcher. Send him with one of the many cards that I have built for sending from this deck, because it's also a lot of graveyard power. He's pretty important. You're never going to summon him by his first ability. If you do, it's probably because you're playing Trickstar Reincarnation or a Banishing deck. Yeah, so that pretty much sums up this guy. Dinosaur Pinkertops was running 2. Ban list came in, now he's down to 1. He's free special summon. You can tribute him to destroy a card. As a quick effect, very handy, very helpful. Giant Rex, level 4. Link material, Xyz material, and every time he's banished, he just special summons himself right back to the field. So he is very much a utility card as well. If you're going to run him, run only 1. I would not advise running more than 1 of that card. Otherwise, it kind of bricks if it's in your hand. The main soul of the deck is Soul Eating Raptor, no pun intended. He searches out or sends a card right away. So you can get those dinos to your hand or in the graveyard. You can send Overtext for Pill. You can add UCT yourself to your hand if you don't have the requirements for Pill. And basically he can destroy a card on the field, which is your own dino, and then special one from the grave. It's very handy. Comboing hit this guy off with Lost World and Petite is just insane, in my opinion. So I run 3 copies of Miscellaneousaurus. He's the other half of the deck. He can send himself from the hand to the grave during either player's main phase. And because of that, basically it protects all your dinos on the field from card effects for the turn. He can banish himself and then special things like other dinosaurs from the deck straight to the field. I'll explain more in depth than that in a minute here. The targets that I primarily go to is Direct Alo, because he's a tuner. I can special him out, use him and Soul Eater. If you already summoned Soul Eater, either search for this guy or sent this guy so he's already in the graveyard. Or even if he's just in your hand or you got him by Fossil Dig. Again, there's a lot of consistency in this build. He is super easy to get by, and he can sometimes just get you a free body on the field for a Link or a Synchro, mainly a Synchro. This guy can be destroyed, special summons. These 2, again, are really easy because for Miscellaneous, you can just banish himself, get the level 1, or banish himself and Giant Rex for Petite, so you can special Petite, get Giant Rex out, and, you know, just combo after combo. For the Shaddoll engine, I run 3 Shaddolls. I run Beast, Dragon, and Hedgehog. I have been thinking about taking out the Hedgehog, but there has been times where I've needed Hedgehog to add me another one of these guys because basically if they have an extra deck monster out and then I destroy it and there's no more materials that I can use for a Shaddoll fusion when my Shaddoll monster dies, I'll have another one in hand so I can just fuse it off right away. Each of them have a graveyard effect. Like I said, this one searches out another one. This one draws a card, and this one's the pop spell and trap card, Mystic Mine. And, yeah, basically they're very helpful for that. 1 Performance Trick Clown. I use this guy right here to, you know, send to the grave for Construct, which is one that every now and then I'll play around with, just so I can special summon him back for a Link material or a level 4 XCs. And he can just keep coming back. I just keep bringing him back in defense mode, paying 1,000 life points, and then, you know, just keep using him off as material. Speaking of sending cards, I run 1 Armageddonite to send any of the Shaddolls or Overtext to the grave. Those are my main targets, if my only, and he just helps out a lot in case you don't have an Overraptor in hand. For hand traps, I run 3 copies of the Ash Blossom because it's both a fusion material and a free negate, and that goes the same thing for the Effect Veiler because, well, you can summon Construct with it and is the free negates. Moving on to the spells. But before I go into spells, let me know what you guys think about the new format coming April 1st, 2020. I know I've heard all the April Fool jokes, ha ha ha, but I think Konami's actually serious about this. I think it's a pretty cool thing. Anyway, moving back to spells. Double Evolution Pill. I run 2 because, well, sometimes it's nice to draw it in hand, but there's already a search for it with Overtext, and honestly, I ran 3 at a time, and they tend to brick, in my personal opinion. So running 2 definitely is enough to be able to pull out things like UCT, or Overtext for that Spell Trap Negate, or even Dogoron, the Kaiju, just to be a troll and say, hey, I Kaiju'd my own field. 3 copies of Fossil Dig. This guy right here searches out everything you could possibly need for the Soul Eater or the Miscellaneous or just any level 6 or lower dino in general, but those are the 2 you'll mainly be searching with these. Not once per turn, so you can just keep activating them again and again. 1 Foolish Burial for the free send. I've been known to send a lot of cards with this card, but if I had to choose one that I'd send the most, it'd be either one of the Shaddolls, Performance Trick Clown, or Overtext Quaddulus. Again, this card helps build a lot of potential for the deck. 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion. So if your opponent has an extra deck monster out, you can activate this and fuse materials straight from the deck. No hand or field required. You can use those as well with the deck, but I honestly just fuse materials from the deck so you can get so many graveyard effects off. And these cards tend to get ashed a lot in my personal area, so that's exactly why I run 3 copies of Called by the Grave to take care of those pesky ashes and other hand traps that may or may not be coming out. So as long as they don't run Ghost Mansion, I guess I'm fine. And if they do run Ghost Mansion, then oh well, whatever. 3 copies of Super Polymerization. I know I'm supposed to be running 3 copies of Extravagance instead, but I like this card more, and I don't have money to afford Extravagance, so just gonna, yeah. I run 3 copies of Lost World. I know it's more than 40 cards in this deck, I'm pretty sure, but honestly, I see this card being helpful as well. This card makes your opponents monsters lose 500 attack, and it's field zone, so it counts as your 6th spell or trap, you could say. Special summon that token to lock down your opponent. Combo this card off with Soul Eating Overraptor. Super good. That and then Petite. Get those monsters out. Oh man, it is a crazy combo. And if you want a combo video, like I said before, or if I haven't said just till now, get 5 likes and I will make a combo video for this deck. Or if somebody asks for it again in general, I'll give it to you. For the links, I run 1 copy of Underclock Taker. I run a small Nightmare package of Phoenix and Unicorn, mainly for Mystic Mine and any other types of things that may or may not come out. And I run the 1 Borlo Dragon because I don't really see purpose in Borlo Sword for this deck. UCT already runs over enough, in my personal opinion. I like Borlo because it has the utility to be able to take out or remove anything that I do not like or need. So for Synchros, I run 1 copy of High Speed Raichenbara because I can easily turbo out Alo with Soul Eater, and then, with Soul Eater, I either add or send Miscellaneous. If not, I already have it in my hand because I drew it, or I have Fossil Dig to search it out. Banish it, special Alo, Synchro into this guy. He can attack twice. He gains 200 every single time he attacks, and he's just super helpful. I run 1 Super Dread because he can be used to FTK, and he's just a big beater. You can use UCT and Check and Naga for him. Elvisaur Legion Dolka. This one can negate up to 2 monsters on the field. This one can negate spell trap monster. Basically, this guy can negate anything, just in general. Anything at all to get rid of possible. And then I run the one Abyss Dweller because these two require dinos. This one does not. He can basically lock down your opponent's grave deck if you're fighting graveyard decks. And then for fusions, I run Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and Mud Dragon of the Swamp. The reason why I run these two is because Mud Dragon gives half-decent protection on my cards, and Starving Venom, I can just screw my opponents over, because if they're playing dark cards, well, you know, works out rather well. And if he dies, then, you know, you get to basically nuke all your opponent's special summon monsters off of the field. For Shaddolls, I run 1 Shekanaga, 1 Construct, 1 Grista, and 1 Winda. Winda and Shekanaga are the two I go into the most, but I'll every now and then go into this. Super Poly can work as long as you have a Shaddoll in the field, so if you accidentally summon one of these guys and you have Super Poly and you want to remove one of your opponent's cards, you can just take one of these guys and then fuse them with whatever element correlating, so Earth, Light, Fire, and Wind. I used this guy against Salamangrates when they were a thing, but I'm thinking about taking Grista out now. I haven't really decided. And Window locks down the opponent. This one just helps for the level, and it's all mainly consistent. And might as well go into the side deck, because why not? So, in the side deck, I run 1 copy of Red Reboot, just because I can get rid of those trap decks. I wish there were 3 Red Reboots, but you know what? We're limited, so now I also have 2 extra spots in my side deck list. I know, yell at me, I'm not wearing sleeves on my side deck. I need to change that up here pretty quick. I run 2 copy of Massacre Restrict. I feel like this card is underrated. Neither player can tribute cards. This helps take care of so many tribute decks like Monarchs, True Dracos, basically any other deck that can also tribute. It helps out a lot. Definitely locks your opponent out of tributing. And with this deck, you don't really tribute a lot unless you're using Pankratops' effect or basically anything else. I'm missing my other one, but I run 2 copies of Mind Control. I need to find it. I can use you can just use that to steal your opponent's cards, and then I just like to link into Underclock Taker from time to time. Maybe even if it's a level 4, I'll use it for an Xyz, but that's incredibly rare. I just honestly use them to go into Underclock Taker. 3 copies of Twin Twister, because if I use Twin Twister, I can get rid of things like Mystic Mine and any other spells or traps on the field. Gives my dinosaurs protection, even though they kind of have enough forms of protection. Basically, if Dragon and Phoenix don't do the job, then I'll just grab these guys and throw them in, and then I'll for sure take care of all those spells and traps. I run 3 copies of Lancia to take out those banishing players like Granmaju, Orcust sometimes, and even Thunder Dragons when they were still a thing. I definitely ran this guy to help take care of a lot of those banishing issues that I've ever had, but I have to be careful not to use it on yourself, or else you won't be able to banish cards for like UCT or Double Evolution Pill. And then finally, I run 2 copy of Vanity's Fiend. This card is, you may be asking, why do you run this card? This card is not really side deck material. Well, I'm gonna say cannot be special summoned. Neither player cannot special summon monsters. If you open up with this thing in your hand, somehow find a way to have Miscellaneous Source in your graveyard, despite how many ways you do it, and banish it, special the Alo, and then just tribute it for Vanity's Fiend. I know it kind of decorrelates with the Mask of Restrict, but these, again, are for different types of decks that you play in your area. She will lock down your opponent from special summoning at all, and you could potentially just beat over your opponent with this card just for game. So that's pretty much it for my Shaddoll Dino deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more duels, let me know. If you want to see more deck profiles, let me know. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.